So today, we're going to dive into this really provocative theory that basically frames our entire lives as a game with a very strict set of rules, and get this, a scoreboard that everyone can see.
But let's start with a really big question, right? What is it that truly separates us, as humans, from every other creature on the planet? Well, the theory we're looking at today says the answer is actually pretty simple. We don't just, experience the world. We actively observe it, we take these little mental notes, and then we choose. This simple loop, observe, note, choose, is our fundamental human function. And, this constant act of choosing doesn't happen in a bubble. It creates this relationship with everything around us, and it pushes us on this lifelong quest for something the theory calls harmony.
Okay, so this whole idea breaks down our motivation into something really simple. On one hand, you've got harmony, this state of balance and acceptance that we're just naturally drawn to. And on the other hand, there's disharmony, a state of conflict that we instinctively reject. This constant push and pull, well, that becomes the engine for everything we do.
But here's the thing. Chasing harmony isn't some straight path. It's a loop, and it's called the cycle of resistance. The theory goes like this. To truly find harmony with something, you first have to love it. But to really love it, you have to genuinely know it. And to know it, well, you gotta experiment and observe. And that act of observation, it just starts the cycle all over again. We are constantly seeking, learning, and choosing. Now, just imagine billions of people, each one running this internal cycle of resistance. I mean, from a society's point of view, that's just pure chaos, right? So to ensure the whole group survives and to maintain some kind of order, a system had to be created. A system to guide and, ultimately to control this fundamental human drive.
And this, right here, is where we get to the heart of the whole theory, the bike path scoreboard. I want you to imagine your life isn't just a journey, but it's a game with a very, very public score. Let's break that down for a second. The path is your life. It's the day-to-day grind of just trying to survive. The scoreboard? That's the societal system that tracks and scores every single action you take along that path. Literally every move you make, from your career to what you had for breakfast, it's all being tallied up. But hey, don't think for a second this is just some open road. No, this path is lined with signs, with rules, with obstacles, and all of them are designed to influence your score. They're there to shape your choices.
So, what are these signs and how does this game actually work? Let's dig into the rules of the road.
All right, to explain this, the theory uses this kind of clever math analogy. Stick with me here. Imagine that we all share one universal function, the drive to survive. Let's just call this our base function, our f of x. Think of it like our core operating system.
And this is basically how the theory explains social hierarchy. You are the baseline, the simple function, f of x. But other people in society, they're seen as a composed function. Think f of x cubed. They're still running the same survival program, but they're doing it on what's seen as a more complex and, a superior level.
And the logic here is pretty wild. It's that someone with a composed function can look at a simple function, at you, and understand you perfectly because they've already been at that level. It creates this whole system of recognition and judgment based entirely on this perceived complexity. So, okay, we've got a game, we've got rules, we've got a hierarchy, but who teaches us how to play this thing? Who shows us how to navigate this path and rack up a better score?
According to the theory, our very first teacher of survival is the mother figure. And her primary teaching tool? It has a pretty startling name, the staircase of cruelty. Okay, and just to be clear, cruelty here doesn't mean malice or being mean for the sake of it. It's about the harsh lesson of differentiation. So when you learn to ride a bike, you feel superior to the people who walk. When you get a motorcycle, you feel superior to the cyclists. A car makes you feel superior to motorcyclists, and you can see how it goes. Each step up instills this sense of separation and hierarchy. So at its core, this whole system of cruelty is really just a survival mechanism. The theory even describes it as a kind of vaccination against failure. By teaching you to always want to climb higher, to be better than your past self and better than others, it instills this relentless will to survive. All right, so we've got the scoreboard, the signs on the path, and the staircase of learned superiority. But what's the end game here? What is the ultimate purpose of this entire massive system? Well, when you boil it all down, it's about one thing: prediction and control. The system becomes, as the theory puts it, obsessed with observing and seeing the future. Because if you understand the rules of the game, its architects can predict your behavior. They know exactly which signs will make you turn left or right. And that knowledge, that's power. And now for the final, kind of mind-bending twist. This entire system, one that's built on observation, scoring, and a staircase of cruelty, is all framed, believe it or not, as a culture of love. It's packaged as care, as guidance, all for your own good, of course. But the theory makes a really critical distinction right here. This so-called culture of love is not designed to help you thrive. It has almost nothing to do with your personal fulfillment or your happiness. Its one and only purpose is to make sure you survive, to keep you on the path, playing the game, and keeping the whole system stable. Which leaves you with a pretty powerful question to think about. As you navigate your own bike path, looking at all the signs in your own personal scoreboard, are you truly living, or are you just being managed?